Hello, and welcome to a short recording on what are index fields. My name is Jonathan Corns, and I'm a member of the Professional Services team here at Effisoft. The goal of this video is to explain what index fields are and the options around creating these fields in Transact. Today, we are going to cover the following topics. What index fields are and how they are used within Transact. The key settings when creating an index field, and the features that are configured within an index field. What are index fields and how are they used? Index fields are containers for data within Transact. They are configured within a document type. You can have multiple index fields for each document type. These fields hold the extracted and verified data throughout the workflow. They are used to display the extracted information to the operators. The operators can edit the data in the index fields if required. Now let's have a quick look at some configured index fields within Transact. Here we have a document type called invoice, and under the document type we have a number of fields such as invoice number, invoice date, invoice amount, invoice notes, invoice approver, and invoice status. These fields contain the data extracted. Within the validation screen, we can see some of the data that has been extracted from the document and displayed within these index fields. Next, we are going to talk about some of the key settings when creating index fields. There are a number of settings that can be configured when creating new index fields. Below are a list of the key settings. We will now have a look at each of these in a little bit more detail within Transact. The name setting is a unique name for an index field. We would recommend having a standard naming convention for these, such as using uppercase and underscores, but this is not essential. The description is an index field label that will be seen within the validation screen. The data type can be configured to hold a variety of types, from string to double to Boolean. You can see a list of them in the drop-down. The OCR confidence threshold is configured between 0 and 100. This will mark the field for the user to view if the extracted data falls below this OCR threshold. Field type. This is used to define how the extracted results of an index field will be displayed within the validation screen. We have 6 options for these: text, list, checkbox, date, multi-line, and combo. Category. This is used to group fields together within the validation screen. You can see that I have defined 2 groups for my index fields, a header and a status. This will display 2 tabs within the validation screen. The field order determines how the fields are displayed within UI, with 1 being the first field shown. The field option values list is used in conjunction with a combo field type. It provides the option to have a static list configured for your combo box. The values are configured as a semicolon separated list. The additional feature sections has a number of options. Some common settings are force review. This will mark an index field to be reviewed by an operator in the validation screen. Field value change script. This will enable the scripting features to trigger when there are changes in a value within an index field. Hidden. This will hide an index field from the user. Read-only. This will make the field within the UI read-only, so the data can't be changed by an operator. Finally, default value. This will allow you to define a value to populate into an index field when no extracted data has been found. Now let's have a quick look at some index fields within the validation screen. We can see that we have two tabs or categories that have been created and the index fields that are linked to these categories. We can see the different field types such as text for an invoice number, a day picker for the invoice date field, a multi-line field for the invoice notes, a combo box for the invoice approver, and a checkbox for the status. Next, we're going to discuss some features that can be configured with an index field. A KV or key value extraction rule is used for extracting index field values based on the relative location of a value against a specified key. A cross-section extraction rule is used for extracting index field values when a single key is insufficient. The feature works by extracting values where two key patterns intersect on a document. A paragraph extraction rule is used to extract values that lie in a particular paragraph on a document. A validation rule is used to ensure that index fields match a regular expression pattern, such as invoice number must be between 5 to 10 digits. A format conversion setting allows you to reformat the data into a structured format. A common example is converting invoice dates into a standard format such as year, month, day. Now let's have a quick look at some of these features within Transact. Let's take a look at a KV extraction rule. Here we can see the key invoice NO and a regular expression value that the system will look for. In this case, we are looking for 0 to 9, which is 7 to 10 digits long. Next, let's take a look at a validation rule. As you can see, we have a regular expression pattern. If the value is in the index field doesn't match this pattern, a message will be displayed to the user. Finally, let's have a look at a format conversion. Here we can see we're converting a day, month, year date value into a year, month, day format. We can see these features within the validation screen. We can see the invoice day format has been converted successfully into a year, month, day format. We can also see by adding a letter to the invoice number, it now flags to us that the field doesn't match the pattern that we have defined. Today, we have talked about index fields. What are they and how they are used within Transact? We discuss some key settings when creating an index field, and finally review some features that are configured with an index field. Thank you for watching this video on what are index fields.